Okay, sorry for that. The one platform is down, so we're going to stream from YouTube on Sioux Sports TV. If you go to YouTube, obviously, if you're not watching, you won't know that. But we did tell some Timmins parents and Sioux parents, so hopefully they reach out. This is semifinals. Hounds are up 1-0 with 6:50 left in the first. Kennedy finds Meninos. Meninos on a break. Meninos tries to go 5-0. What a save. We got to blow that down. Who's in net?
Yeah, great
Is
stop.
that Renault? Yeah, Renault.
Yeah, that's Benson Renault. Yeah, thanks so much again for tuning in. We do apologize for the delay, but the Sioux Greyhounds got on the board first with by a goal. I think it was Beckerson that scored the goal.
The power play.
On the power play. So Greyhounds jumped out to the 1-0 lead, but it's been a back and forth game. Timmins has had some chances early on as well, and yeah, it's definitely been a good game so far.
So Hounds in the offensive zone. McCabe shot towards that, and the shot blocking lane is horrible, so it goes wide of the net. Now towards the net, Eby couldn't get the shot off. Bailey Scott will pick up the loose puck. Scott, he's going to try to find Preston Johnston just out of his reach. Picked up by Barrett McCabe. The defensive for the Hounds trying to find McMonaco. Just goes underneath his stick and down for an icing. So I'll thank some sponsors. Well, I got a little bit of a time here. Thanks you to KC Security Services. Watching this usually on Sioux Sports TV, but it'll be Sioux Sports TV on YouTube today. Thank you to Repair Sault Ste. Marie, Thompson Hardwood Floor Refinishing, Romeser Independent Grocer, the Canal District, GFL Environmental, Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, Leanne Jarrett Photography, Booster Juice Sault Ste. Marie, Wendy's Sault Ste. Marie, Sioux Sports Clips, and freeze frame photos by Bob Davies. Puck back to the Timmins end. Scott's going to rim it over to the half wall. Timmins will get it out. It gets kicked back in. But they will finally say that it is offside.
Yeah, good call there. The linesman got that one right. Massive crowd here today, too, for a Saturday morning. Place is pretty full, and
I can
up
imagine
in
at
the restaurant, it's a disaster.
At the NCC,
yeah.
if the Hounds end up making the finals, how busy it might be.
Yeah. When I say disaster, I mean it's like really busy. It's like there's people everywhere up there, so it's a full rink, that's for sure.
Timmins wins that draw back. They're going to throw it all the way down. It gets tipped off a stick. It's going to be picked up by Jeremy Jarrett. Jarrett, he'll go off the boards. He finds Nevers. Nevers takes a bump from Fotheringham. He knocks him over. Now Bryce Sedone picks up the loose puck. They're going to let them play on. Bryce Sedone tries to chip it out for Lapalainen. Just couldn't get it to him. Now back to the point. Parrott kicks it back in deep. It's going to be picked up by Morden. He fires it off the boards. To the points, Nevers. He'll get it over to Lapalainen. Lapalainen walks in. Nice shot, but a save by Renault. And Bryce Sedone gets knocked down at the end there.
Yeah, Bryson Doan gave Renault a little shot, and
I think it's Fotheringham.
Yeah.
Fotheringham.
Fotheringham just knocked him over, and no harm, no foul. And
a little mismatch in size there.
yeah.
But the way Bryce Sedone plays, I don't think he'll back down from much.
He won't. That's right.
If he's anything like his father.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A little bit better hockey player, though. Meninos now circling. Still with the puck, gets it over to McCabe. McCabe, he'll walk in, shot on net, saved by Renault, and covered up quickly. Renault's played, well, both goalies on Timmins I thought have done a great job all weekend.
Yeah, 100%.
I know they're both, one's big, one's small,
Yeah.
but they're both equally make saves.
I mean,
and they got good rebound control.
Yeah, and Storing was hung out to dry yesterday. I think he faced 38 shots or something, and he played remarkable. That game would have been way more out of control if he wasn't in net that game.
Oh, 100%. No. So McCabe now in his own zone. He'll go up the boards. He's going to find Ubaldi. Ubaldi goes back to McCabe. McCabe finds Meninos. Fisher-Ruck gets it back to Meninos. Meninos with a nice shot below the blocker. And Lucas Meninos, the top scorer of the U15 NOHL division, is going to end up making it 2-0.
Yeah, Meninos, He's dangerous with the puck, dangerous when he comes in one-on-one. Made a nice little move on Renault there and was able to put that one home. Extend the lead to 2-0 with 4:32 to play here in the first.
Now Meninos will run it up to Caruso. Stolen by Scott. Bailey Scott's going to walk in. Scott trying to toe drag around. Goes into the feet. And Lafreniere shot on net. Saved by Clayton. Now it's picked up by Fisher-Ruck. He'll rim it over to Beckerson. Beckerson trying to chip that out. And it's going to go by the Timmins player. Now Caruso. Nice pass to Meninos. Good job by Renault staying with it, though. Meninos gets it to Caruso.
Wow, and somehow Renault keeps that out.
That was a beautiful backhand pass by Caruso. But Meninos tried to deke, but Renault didn't fall for it and stayed with him.
No, great
Forced
play.
him to go around the net, but Meninos gets it out front, and Caruso gets stopped.
Yeah, that was a high skill play there by the Greyhounds, and like you said, Renault just held his ground, and that was a terrific job by him.
So face off to the left of Renault. Timmins wins that back. Bothering him. He gets tied up by Jasper Jarrett. Power's going to come out and help down low. Kennedy helping out with the Hounds. He knocks over his man. Now Jasper Jarrett knocks over his man down below. Kennedy's going to pick up the loose puck. Blake Kennedy walks out. Shot towards the net. Saved by Renault. The rebound gets kicked aside. Kennedy getting the call up again today, for the U15 Hounds. And Jarrett steps into his man, sits him down. Blake Kennedy trying to find Jasper Jarrett, goes off Jarrett's stick. Zubik picks up the loose puck, shot on net, nice save by Clayton, he'll cover up quick.
Oh, and then he gets a snow job, and then he gets hit from behind, and then he gets hit from behind. So finally we're gonna get some penalties here, I would assume. That was, the way that played out was pretty predictable, right? You get snow the goal, you get hit from behind, then your teammate comes up and stands up for you, and then another teammate comes and stands up for you, right? So,
yeah, I'd be happy with just a 1-and-1 going here.
I think you're going to get 2-2.
Or 2-and-2 would work.
They might give the extra 2 to Timmins for the initial snowing of the goalie, potentially, but
yeah,
I'm okay with 2. Yeah, it looks like 5-on-5.
No, 5-on-4.
Or okay.
Like I get the yeah. The snow job I might have let go, but the two guys hitting each other after,
Yeah.
I would have just called the 1-and-1. But I do get that. Like,
and maybe they didn't call the snow because there were 2 Timmins players that hit one. The one Greyhound player came in, hit the Timmins player.
yeah, and then the Greyhound player.
So either way, power play again here for the Greyhounds.
Fisher-Ruck gets over to Campbell. Campbell looking for Ruck. Just missed wide of the net. Ruck's going to steal. Fisher-Ruck picks up the loose puck on the half wall, gets it back to Campbell. Campbell back to Fisher-Ruck. Fisher-Ruck into the feet of Lapalainen. Lapalainen will get it back to Campbell. Campbell's going to walk. Campbell in the lane. Just goes wide, hard off the backboard. Timmins will get it out, but a good stick by Fisher-Ruck to not let it go all the way down the ice. So just to the neutral zone. Now Meninos, he'll get moving. Lucas Meninos, he'll put the brakes on. Taking a look, trying to go back to Beckerson, goes off a stick. Finds Campbell though. Campbell to Fisher-Ruck, back to Campbell. Campbell's got Beckerson on the far side, one-timer. Good diving block by Yannick Moreau. Goes off his stick and out of play.
What a play there. I love that effort by Morrow. You see that a lot, right? Timmins has been sacrificing themselves all over the place, and they have a short bench too, eh? Like if you look, they lost one of their best defensemen yesterday. He's gone for the play downs, but again, they have a real short bench, and there's a lot of hockey here in the last couple days, so fatigue may be playing a factor, and you can't really blame them.
Yeah, you got Friday, Saturday, 2 games each day, and I know they're used to that for tournaments, and then if you make a semis and finals, right, you got usually 2 games Thursday, but that is a lot of hockey, and I know they haven't had any hockey games in the last couple weeks, but I know the Hounds have practiced quite a bit. They had about 8 practices in those 2 weeks, or maybe 9, just to get ready for this. Now it's going to be brought in by Hayden Doan. Doan driving wide with that speed. Takes a couple bumps, but he sticks with the puck. So I think he throws his man down off him while he has the puck. He gets it back to the point. McCabe shot on net and glove save by Renault.
Yeah, Renault again, you know, if he sees the puck, he generally makes the save. So you got to keep getting guys and you got to get bodies in front of Renault and try and put home some like a rebound. But yeah, he's been solid all weekend long. The goal scorer Breckinson comes out for the Greyhounds along with Nevers.
Yeah, 12 seconds left on the penalty. Ackerson in the slot. Shot goes off the post, but on the rebound, it's going to be put away. So the Hounds will jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first with 1:24 left. Beckerson with a heavy shot.
Yeah, I thought Beckerson's shot actually went in, but it looks like it probably bounced down, and Branson Doan,
yeah, you put away the rebound.
Branson Doan put home the rebound clearly.
After he had a hat trick yesterday. I'm actually quite shocked, even like with the awards, like obviously I didn't see all the games, but I thought a guy like Campbell or Beckerson might have won the top defenseman of the year for this league. And Beckerson's a righty too, right? So possesses a heavy shot, he plays physical, and Campbell just good offensive instincts, good defensively.
Geez, Doan scored a goal, gave the stick to I think the trainer, and now the trainer's retaping it.
Superstitious, maybe.
I don't know. My goodness, back in my day, boy, I had one roll of tape to last me the whole year. So.
Oh, not now. Yeah. I know they're doing AAA every day. They want to retape their sticks.
Oh, wow.
Every practice. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You don't need it for practice.
That's right.
In the words of Alan Iverson, we're talking about
Practice here, yeah.
Now Timmins with the puck in their own zone, getting tied up by McMonagle. He's going to go over to Preston Johnson. He spins away from Caruso. Picked up by, I believe it's either Morrow or Power. Oh, heavy hit on the boards by Jasper Jarrett. That was Morrow that got the puck up. Timmins now in the Sioux zone, lose it to McMonagle. Drop for Beckerson. Beckerson will skate over the blue line. Beckerson cuts in. Beckerson with a shot towards that. Nice save by Renault.
Yeah, great stop again by Renault.
Greg Beckerson seems to be taking over this game.
Yeah.
Especially offensively with that goal and assist already, but that.
I think the Greyhound fans thought that went in originally with that.
Yeah.
With that. But no, he's been unbelievable so far here this morning. Absolutely. Echo Bay, Ontario native.
Plays baseball too. I heard he's a pretty good pitcher. Puck comes all the way back down. It's going to be an icing call, so Jared will grab it and we'll come back down with 16.6 seconds left. Parrott fires it towards that. Ooh. And it gets stuck underneath Renault's pad. Good face-off win and quick shot on that. .5 seconds left here.
I'm still trying to figure out what Doan's doing over there. He doesn't have his stick. He went back, looked at his stick, put it back, came back, but still doesn't have one.
Maybe he's waiting for the next period.
The period, yeah.
And that'll just do it for the first. 3-0, the Hounds lead. So we'll be back in a minute or two. Welcome back to second period action. Campbell, he'll pick up the loose puck. Off the draw, he'll fire it cross ice into the Timmins zone. Down low, Fisher-Ruck attacking. It's going to be Timmins picking up the puck on the wall. Just over Lafreniere's stick into the neutral zone. Fisher-Ruck couldn't backhand that up. Johnson steps up, he'll throw it to the Hound zone. Now Beckerson gets it over to Campbell. Campbell takes a little bit of a bump there from Lafreniere. Now Beckerson will get it up ice. Stolen by Bailey Scott. Scott trying to drive in, picked up by Blake Kennedy. Kennedy looking for Fisher-Ruck, just out of his reach. Now it's going to be picked up by Ben Campbell. He'll dump it in deep. Hounds will go for a change. Meninos going on the attack with Morden. Morden, he'll get it over to Scott. Bailey Scott now. He'll skate out of the zone. Gets over to Preston Johnston. Johnston, he'll fire it in. Goes into the far corner. They got a guy wide open. Ooh, stolen by Morden. And Nevers streaking. Now Doan, he'll play it off the boards into the neutral zone. Comes back. Now it's going to go into the mesh and out of play.
A souvenir for a lucky fan. Second period, we often see, both these teams really enjoy looking for the stretch pass, right? We saw that a lot yesterday, and the Greyhounds had two guys deep there, and great play by Timmins to break that up.
Yeah, they've been doing good, realizing that stretch pass, not letting anything get through. Renault stops that puck behind the net, left for LaMarche. LaMarche trying to find his centerman just out of the reach of him and Duclos. So we'll come down for icing. We'll come all the way back.
The other semifinal game starting at 11:30 today. Sudbury versus Thunder Bay. So winner of both games will meet tonight at 5:30.
So if Thunder Bay does win, whoever wins this game will, whoever meets in the finals with Thunder Bay, if Thunder Bay's there, will both go to the OHF. So.
And obviously.
But you want to go there as champs.
You do.
Just a little bit nicer feeling.
And also, you got to keep in mind, we believe that Swartz is likely going to be out for Sudbury, and that's a massive loss for that team. So.
Well, he's just a big body too. Like, don't even take away the physical part. He just creates space because of how big he is, right?
And that shot he had, we saw it yesterday.
And the offense he'll bring to the team. So that is a big loss because, like I said, even just creating space, it opens up the other guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being that big and like having some skill like that. McCabe trying to get it towards the net. Gets blocked now. Aston. He gets it over to Zubik. Zubik will dump it in deep. We'll get a full change. For Timmins. Baldy behind his own net. Gets it up ice. He finds Nevers. Nevers tries to chip to McMonaco just out of his reach.
There it is.
Now Timmins on a partial break. Barber. Good back check by Ubaldi. Ties him up.
Oh.
He finishes his check. Barber gets up slowly, but gets back into the play. Now towards the net.
I think that went off the post. I don't know.
What a save that was.
Yeah.
I think he might have hit the post there. Now it's Houston.
He might have got his stick on it. You're right, Bruno. Yeah.
Loses the puck over. McMonaco tries to get it in deep. It's going to come into feed. McMonaco. A little backhand saucer pass to Evie, but it goes right into Renault's glove.
Yeah, Greyhounds with some pretty good pressure here early on. Great back check by Ubaldi, as I believe that was Barber, had a step, and Ubaldi was able to come back and not even allow Barber to get the shot on net, so outstanding job by him.
So face off to the left of Renault. Puck wins back. Motherham, he gets bumped, gets it over to his D partner. Lamarche tries to rim it, goes to the far side. On the half wall now is battle down low, picked up by Bailey Scott. A nice pass by Scott. And another goal by Horrible, but a beautiful pass by Bailey Scott from the red line, the ringette line, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, we talked.
And he hit Horrible at the far blue line, and Horrible had a step on Beckerson and beat Clayton.
Yeah, we talked about how both teams really look for that stretch pass here in that second period, and what a pass And you're right, that finish was outstanding as he made a little move, and Clayton, nothing he could do there. And Timmins right back in this hockey game.
Yeah, closing the gap, down 3-1 now. Still lots of hockey, 11:30 left here, second period. Now Fisher-Ruck back the other way, shot towards that, and saved by Renault.
I was just about to say, the Greyhounds, though, all weekend long have done an outstanding job of countering goals by the opponent, by their opposition. There's been at least 3 or 4 times where the Greyhounds have scored within 30 seconds of being scored upon. So, look for the Greyhounds to try and counter here real quick.
Puck comes back around the Timmins net. They get it up the half wall. Zubik, he'll chip it into the neutral zone, picked up by McCabe. He'll drop it back to Ubaldi. Ubaldi doing a good job protecting a puck. Gets around his man, takes a bump from Zubik. Now it gets played up the board. Zubik will chip it up to Duclos. Stolen though by Caruso. Dante Caruso comes back, sidesteps the hit, gets knocked down, but he gets the puck over to Fisher-Ruck. Now to McCabe, back to Caruso. Caruso trying to go into the slot with it. Dante Caruso gets knocked down. Puck's gonna get chipped down and over. Now picked up by Jeremy Jarrett. Out of the reach of Hayden Doan, picked up by Meninos. Meninos goes back to Jarrett. Jeremy Jarrett, he'll skate it up. He backhands it to the far side. Just out of the reach of Hayden Doan. Now Meninos will get it. He chips it into the zone. Hayden Doan has his man beat. He's got Blake Kennedy with him. Just out of the reach of Kennedy. Good stick by the Timmins player. Doan still with the puck. Gets tripped up. He'll get it over to Kennedy in the slot. Kennedy backhander. Saved by Renault. Now picked up by Nevers. Nevers with a couple guys. Bryce Doan with a shot in the slot. And Kennedy trying to grab the rebound.
What a stop by Renault. I don't know how he saw that. We had bodies all in front of him. So with 10:04 to play here in the second period. Timmins did a good job of kind of weathering that initial pushback from the Greyhounds. So look for them now to try and find some offense again. And, obviously that stretch pass works for them. So look for it.
Now back to the point. Backerson will chip it in. He's going to come back onto the far side. Lafreniere's there for the Majors. He'll try to chip it up. Comes back to the Timmins Majors D. Now they're going to break out. It's going to be a goal scorer, Horrible. He'll pick it up just over the blue line of the Hounds. Gets over to LaMarche. LaMarche backhands it over to Preston Johnston. Fired towards the net. Stolen by the Hounds. They'll chip it back out. Ooh, kept in by Timmins. Now Fan on it in the slot by Backerson, and Lafreniere got a shot up, but Backerson blocked that. Now down to the corner. Greyhounds will pick it up. Campbell with some room, he'll skate it up. Campbell, he'll far side dump. Took a little bounce in front of Renault. Went to the side. Oh, Fan on.
I thought he broke his stick or something. What an effort, though.
But Preston Johnson, as he was down, slid and knocked it out of the defensive zone. Now Lapalainen, he's got Jarrett with him. Lapalainen, low shot. Players are down. One Timmins player knocked their own goalie over. And a wide open net, and they'll score. And it's a good goal because the Timmins player took out the Greyhound and knocked his own goalie over. So unfortunate for Renault, but the Hounds with a quick shot towards the net, and it's going to be Jasper Jarrett banging on the rebound.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate bounce all around for Timmins. And Greyhounds, Johnny on the spot, able to put that one home. It's a big goal for the Greyhounds, right? You got a, 2-goal lead. You feel like you've been the better team so far. If Timmins was able to put home one more, then you're starting to get a little nervous.
That would be, but still, like you said, still lots of hockey. I know it's 4-1 now, but one shot at a time, you chip away at the lead. You get like a heavy power play, a 5-on-3 or something happens, right?
Yeah, 3-goal lead, the worst lead in hockey.
But now it's McKay from his own zone. He'll find Lapalainen. He's got McMonaco. Trying to make that pass quicker. Should have hit him at the blue line, then hopped in. Now it's going to be picked up by McCabe. McCabe waits for them to get on side. He'll dump it in deep. Going to be picked up by Timmins. Lapalani comes in the forecheck, bumps his man. Gets trimmed around, picked up by Fisher Ruck. He tries to backhand it, goes off a skate, picked up by Meninos. Lucas Meninos, he'll get it over to Lapalainen, who finds Jarrett. He keeps that puck in. Jeremy Jarrett throws it down low. Trying to find Ubaldi. Ubaldi trips his man, so yeah, like you said, like Timmins going to go to a power play. So down 4-1 with 7:47.
Yeah, for me growing up, it was always the 3-goal lead's the worst goal in hockey, and then I think Shorzy made a reference to it being a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. I don't know if that's, I think that's what he said, and then it kind of changed the whole perception of what's the worst lead in hockey.
Yeah. Nowadays, I feel like any lead's not the best.
Timmins had a good power play last time they had one. They had some opportunities.
Yeah, so with a 2-minute power play, anything could happen here. Bailey Scott back on the point. Gets the puck. Back to Scott in the slot, ripped on net. Nice save by Clayton. Now it's going to come off the glass, but not out. Meninos on the second attempt. Gets pestered by Aston and Zubik. They keep it alive. Back to the point, Zubik. He's going to go cross ice. Scott back in the bumper to Cameron Austin. Just puts it wide. Horrible. Trying to get back. Meninos, if he could chip it around, he'll have a step on him. Now Lucas Meninos shorthanded.
Oh, what a
Tries to make a move. Puck just rolls off his stick though.
This Greyhound team has been dangerous on the penalty kill all tournament long. Or all playoffs long.
Yeah, I'd have to check their stats. They probably have, I'd say, 3 to 4 short-handed goals this weekend. Nice quick save by Clayton. He's going to get dumped back down. Hayden Dome with some speed. He's going to cut in. Goes around the net. Waiting for the change. Trying to find Eby. Eby will come back behind the net. Pick up the puck. He bumps his man. Now he ties up Bailey Scott. Eby trying to get around. Timmins will break back out though. Bailey Scott leading the charge. Scott, he'll get over the blue line. He finds Horrible. What a pass to get through. Horrible fakes it. Heavy shot off the backboard. Just going to be picked up by the Timmins player because they would have had a wide open net on the backboard.
Yeah, just bounced right over his stick.
Eby driving wide. Eby trying to get a shot off. He can't. And covered up by Benson Renault.
Yeah, Timmins with their opportunities on this power play. Great job by Clayton, and Hounds got a lucky bounce, or sorry, I guess you could say the Hounds got a lucky bounce off the wall when that puck, you're right, kind of bounced over the Timmins player's stick, and he had the open net.
So down to 20 seconds left on the penalty, 6:05 left in the second. Timmins looking to break back in. Nevers rolls up his man, but the puck stays in. That's still
offside,
in. He thought it was offside, but so Johnson just kind of left it there. Now Nevers down low, battling with Morden. Nothing called there. They just let them battle it out a bit up the ice. Clayton's going to play that over to Parrott. Just out of his reach, but Parrott gets to it, gets it to Caruso. Caruso chips it down, goes off a Timmins stick.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. McMonagle gets hauled down. So the Hounds will go to a power play.
Yeah, great move there by Fisher Ruck. Kind of caught Morden.
That was McMonagle.
Oh, that was McMonagle?
Yeah, he got.
Great
He had
move
him
by
beat, and
McMonagle.
but like it's a penalty you don't really need to take because even though he's got you beat, it's going to be around the net. Like it's not like in front of the net, so you could kind of just angle him and try to anticipate where he's going.
Yeah.
So back to the point, Beckerson. He's going to walk over, gives over to Campbell. Campbell, far side to Fisher Ruck. Ruck goes back to Campbell. Campbell thought about shooting, gives it back to Ruck. Ruck, he'll shoot and off the stick, and Renault covers.
Yeah, Renault again. Nice save there. He does a great job for being a big goalie. He does a good job of taking away the lower half of the net, right? He's nice and low in his stance and does a great job of that.
Face off one by Timmins, but they can't clear it. Picked up by Beckerson on the point. He walks to the slot. Heavy shot. Nice save by Renault again. No cover.
Yeah, Timmins doing a good job of keeping the Greyhounds to the outside, letting Renault see the puck, and let Renault make the stops. That's what you got to do, right? So good job so far here by Timmins. 25 seconds in.
So 5:02 left here. Beckerson on the point. He's going to get it stolen from him. It's going to be Aston. Aston, but Campbell's back. And he'll break that play up. Hounds looking to circle back around Lapalainen with some speed through the neutral zone. He'll get over the blue line. Lapalainen looks to cut in. He'll go around the net. Lappy gives it back to Fisher-Ruck to Campbell. Then Campbell back to Fisher-Ruck. Fisher-Ruck down low to Lapalainen. They switch. Lapalainen gets it back to Campbell. Campbell to Beckerson. Back to Lapalainen. Goes to shoot. Beckerson gets it. A nice block shot by Fotheringham. Puck comes down low. Now it's picked up by Jaden Fisher-Ruck. He still has the puck. He gets it over to Campbell. Campbell walks middle. Gets it over to Beckerson. Back to shoot. Campbell fires it wide. And now Beckerson. He gets it on the half wall. Gets it back to Campbell. Over to Fisher-Ruck. Good stick in the lane by the Majors. Campbell gets it back to Fisher-Ruck again. Ruck goes low. He takes a hit. Lapalainen walks out. She tries to find Campbell. Campbell quickly just had to shovel it over to Beckerson. Now to Lapalainen. Lapalainen walks in. Heavy shot. Puts it over top of the net. Now it's over again to Lapalainen. They give it to Beckerson. He'll walk in. Takes a nice shot and saved by Renault again.
Yeah, Timmins again doing a great job of taking away the lanes, right? Not giving the Greyhounds much to shoot at all. And kept the Greyhounds to the outside the whole time. And Greyhounds finally got a shot, but easy stop there for Renault. So 10 seconds to go here in the man advantage for the Greyhounds.
To the right of Renault. Puck won back by the Timmins Majors. It's going to be thrown over. And now it's going to be stopped by Clayton. He'll leave it behind the net. That'll be it for the power play. 5-on-5. Eby, he'll pick up the loose puck. He's got a guy streaking. That's Bryson Doan. Bryson Doan's got Nevers going to the net. Bryson Doan avoids the hit. Now he cuts to the slot, gets tripped up. Shot goes just wide of the net.
You can make an argument that should have been a call.
Well, one thing he always does has his feet moving, so I'm sure he'll draw lots of penalties, especially with the speed. Now it's towards the net. Bryson Doan gets to the Eby. Still loose. Nevers trying to find it in his feet. Nevers. He'll pick up the loose puck. Gets it back to McCabe. McCabe will walk in. And tucked in on the side of the net by Eby. So it'll be 5-1 to 2:42 left.
Yeah, nothing you could do there. Obviously, if you're Renault, that's tough. Grounds with just the sustained pressure. That's what this team does, right? They're absolutely relentless, and they just keep the continued drive, and they just continuously come at you. And it gets exhausting after a while. You have to be on your game at all times, and the Greyhounds are able to expose people's mistakes.
So the Hounds are going to pick it up in their own zone after the face-off at center ice. And the half wall down low. Barber battling for the Timmins Majors. Scott comes in to help. Stuck in the feet with Monaco. The third ground hops in to help out. Comes back to the point. Morden, he'll keep that in for the moment. Now it's going to be picked up by Bryce Parrott. Parrott gets it over to Jasper Jarrett. Tries to make a slick move. Puck gets in deep. Kennedy with a good stick knocks it off the Majors stick. Now Jasper Jarrett, he'll finish his check. Timmins looking to come back the other way. Orville picks up the loose puck in the neutral zone. He'll skate it back to his zone. He finds Barber. Barber will get it in deep. Clayton comes out to play the puck. Has a Timmins guy coming on the far side. Timmins is going to steal. It's Bailey Scott. Scott behind the net gets tangled up with two guys. But Timmins controlling the play still. Morden now from the point. Gets it back, but it goes off his stick. And Kennedy's breaking out. He'll dump it in deep, go for a change. Renault leaves the puck for Fotheringham. Fotheringham trying to stretch it just out of the reach of Houston. Campbell will be the first one back, no ice. Campbell gets bumped by Houston, tied up. Beckerson up the wall to Caruso off his stick. Now it's going to be picked up by Fisher Ruck. He gets it to Meninos. Meninos, backhand pass just out of the reach of Campbell. Campbell, nice spin move, gets away from his man. Campbell gets it back to Fisher Ruck into the far corner. Fisher Ruck, there's a little move. Campbell blew a wheel there. Now it's picked up by Beckerson, back to Campbell. Campbell walk in, finds his man in the slot. Meninos, shot towards that, gets blocked, goes into the corner. We're gonna have a hit down low. Fisher Ruck comes out with the puck. He gets over to Campbell, over to Beckerson. Beckerson snaps it towards the net, hits a Major's body, but still kept alive. So Fisher Ruck behind the net now, trying to get it out front, trying to find Beckerson. He also has Meninos out there. Meninos now putting some pressure on the forecheck. Timmins will rim it around the boards. Can't quite get it to the half wall. So Fotherinham's going to try to go the other way.
Oh, that was
Took a little bit of a slash there.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt.
Now it's Meninos picks up the loose puck. He finds Bryce Sedone. He gets cross-checked.
Yeah, Featherton, I think, is pretty upset. Fotherington's
Yeah,
upset.
he did take a slash there.
Sorry.
So
Yeah, that was a good slash. I'm surprised that wasn't called. Well, we'll be back after the intermission, so give us about 10 minutes and we'll be back with third period coverage here from the John Rhodes Arena in Sault Ste. Marie.
Welcome back to period number 3 of this semifinals. Hounds lead 5-1 on the Timmins Majors. Puck gets thrown in. Caruso takes a bump on the half wall, but they're going to say it's an icing call, so we'll come back.
We were joking about the playlists here earlier. This we feel like we're, this is more for the parents than it is for the kids. I guarantee you these kids don't know most of this stuff.
No.
Also just want to give a little happy birthday shout out to my play-by-play guy here, Derek. Happy birthday. What is this for you now?
I got to do math. 42?
42, eh?
Yeah, 84. 84 is
boy. So you
feel like 62
feel like
though.
62. I know, I hear you. Well, happy birthday.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you've done a great job here over the last couple days. So
it's always fun to do
appreciate
these kind of little events like we did with Nassau Hockey and even throughout the year doing some games. So always have a fun time. Now a play shot in by Power, goes off a shin guard and gets stuck up in the meshing. So face off should be inside the zone.
Oh, this is going to be. Oh, the kid was looking for the souvenir and he couldn't quite reach it. So a parent got it for them. So.
A little risky playing a little Puff Daddy right now, but.
Yeah, right. I know.
Puck comes off the wall. Ubaldi gets it to the neutral zone, but it's stopped by Timmins. Duclos will fire it back in. Clayton comes out. He'll leave the puck. I believe that was McCabe. McCabe gets it over to Ubaldi. Ubaldi trying to skate away from Scott. He's going to try to stretch it to Meninos. Meninos will be offside. He'll have to get back on. Nice little play by Ubaldi, but Meninos just had to reach behind him. Now he fires it towards the net. And on the rebound, I think Lapalainen or Fisher Ruck. Oh, they got stopped. Got robbed.
Yeah, I think he
I thought
put his stick up like he scored.
Yeah.
What a stop by Renault.
Impressive. Because I saw Meninos try to get the shot off, and he was on the one side, and it looked like they had the wide open net. Now Fotheringham, he'll get it back over to his D partner. Throwing up the boards. That's from the Power. Now with the break, Aston just puts it high over the net. Little chip off the boards almost. Lappy. He's going to get over to Fisher Ruck. Back to Lapalainen. Over to, he thought Meninos was going. Try to do a no-look to find him. Meninos now, he'll throw it to the wall. Should be picked up. Stolen by Timmins into the neutral zone. Picked up by Fisher Ruck now. Ruck. Over to Lapalainen, he'll just chip it in deep. We'll get a full change. Hey, behind the net, Fotheringham. He'll skate it up ice. With the feet of Morrow, but it ends up on Bryce Parrott's stick. Parrott with a good move, but he gets pestered by Barber. Barber's gonna knock it off him. Now it's Jeremy Jarrett down low trying to battle with Barber. Shot towards the net by the Majors, goes wide. It's gonna be picked up by Jasper Jarrett. He'll slide it over to McMonaco, but just offside was Eby.
Yeah, the Greyhounds with a pretty good push there, but also Timmins coming back and getting a shot on Clayton. We don't have the shots on goal, unfortunately, and we apologize for that. But, again, I feel like Renault's probably faced close to 35 shots so far in this game, if not more.
Oh, yeah, so, easily, 30 plus for sure. I asked Chris Carr to do both, but he's just too focused on the camera.
Yeah, Chris Carr's our cameraman up there, so we appreciate all the work that Chris has done. He's not listening to us right now, so.
Yeah, we'll get him on an interview next, maybe for the finals or something.
Love that.
Now behind the net, Clayton gets over to Beckerson. Beckerson finds Campbell. Campbell hits Jasper Jarrett. A little too hard, so he'll have to chip it in deep. Timmins back the other way. They're going to chip it around Campbell. But Campbell gets back quickly. He'll get it over to Beckerson. He hits McMonaco. McMonaco cuts to the middle, drops it for Campbell. Campbell in his feet, back to his stick. Backhand. Just put it over top. Nevers gets a piece of his man right in front of the Timmins bench. dump back down. It's Bryson Hayden Doan in behind his own net. He'll find Beckerson. Beckerson puts the puck in his feet, kicks it back to his stick. Turn back the other way. Horrible. Gets it over to Scott. Scott scores!
Wow. Grayson Doan got his pocket picked, and outstanding job by Timmins to kind of make them pay for that.
That was horrible. That stole the puck, I believe, yeah, and fed it over to Bailey Scott. So horrible Scott, I think both with a goal and assist now for the Majors. Heavily relied on. So 5-2. Still lots of hockey. 16:26 left. Horrible's going to break in. Horrible. Trying to chip it over. The Hounds can't get the puck out. Bailey Scott will just glove it back in. Touched by the Hounds, so Nevers with a slick move. He's going to try to cut in. Nevers cuts in. Nevers with a shot and saved by Renault again. Nevers with a beautiful move. Him and Bailey Scott get tangled up.
Yeah, there's that push that they, the Greyhounds tend to give right after allowing a goal. That was a great move by Nevers there, and another nice stop by Renault.
Currently, I know the game just started at 11:30, but out-of-town score, well, in-town score, I guess. Thunder Bay and Sudbury are tied 0-0 in the first, I believe, still. Not sure how much time is left, but Hounds in behind the net. Play comes to the wall, picked up by 14 Zubik. Zubik gets it over to Morton. He gets knocked down. Now it's going to be Lapalainen stealing. He gets taken out. So Timmins will get it to the neutral zone. Parrott in a race. Aston kicks it ahead. Jarrett reverses the Parrott. Parrott's got Menino streaking. Didn't see him there, so it's going to be picked up by Jeremy Jarrett. Jarrett will carry it in. And we're just going to get called on the offside.
Yeah, Menino's is dangerous on that, that stretch pass that we've talked about. And, if you're Timmins here, you got to take some chances, right? You got to take some risks. So, look for Timmins to really look for that stretch pass and try and catch the Hounds defense sleeping a little bit.
So face off just outside the Timmins zone. It's going to be won by Timmins. Now it's going to be chipped ahead by Power. He takes a big hit from Campbell. Jasper Jarrett gets it over to Dante Caruso. Caruso still tied up with his man. Puck comes off Caruso's shin guard, still in the Timmins zone, but Preston Johnson picks it up. Now
nice
Campbell
move.
gets beat wide. They have a guy going to the Houston going to the net. Campbell doing a great job getting back though after getting beat. Caruso can't get around his man. So we picked up by Ben Campbell. Campbell goes back to Beckerson. Beckerson to Jasper Jarrett. He'll just chip it in deep. So the Hounds can get a full change in. Now it's throwing all the way down. McCabe is going to have to come pick it up in his own zone. Barrett McCabe circles around. Gets it over to Bryson Doan. Doan over to Nevers. Nevers. He finds Eby. Eby over to Ubaldi. Shot towards the net. Kicked away by Renault. Now Ubaldi backtracking. Trying to get a stick on it. Cut towards the net. We're going to get a little slashing call, I think. Or hook.
Hooking.
Yeah. So down 5-2, Timmins going to go on to a power play.
Yeah, credit Bryson Doan there. I love the, filled in at D and then came back and, he didn't look out of place there, skating backwards on that 2-on-2 and made a nice play. And unfortunately, another player, I believe, got the penalty, but good effort there by him.
So face off to the right of Clayton. It's going to be chipped out to the neutral zone by Fisher Ruck. Picked up by Horrible. Horrible and I'm sure Scott will be out there. Both have a great game right now for the Timmins Majors. Down low to Duclos. Duclos too can be dangerous when he has the puck. He gets taken out by two guys.
Oh,
so they had the extra guy open.
Yeah.
Now Horrible sidesteps Lapalainen. Shot on net up high. Campbell lost his stick. He had to go pick it up. Beckerson, he'll get it out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Lapalainen. He's just going to throw it in so they can get a change in, kill some time.
Horrible with a pretty good stick there just to get his stick on that puck.
Now Kennedy putting some pressure on the PK. He's got some speed. Good job by Kennedy to knock that off the stick. Battling on the blue line. It's going to come back out. Veninos, he's going to have a full breakaway. And what a shot by Lucas Veninos. But credit to Blake Kennedy doing a great job at the blue line, causing that turnover.
Veninos doesn't miss. Hey? When he comes in on breakaways, he just...
Yeah, he's got a good skill set.
But again,
let's like good skating. His hands are unbelievable.
You talk about Kennedy, though. I mean, what confidence does does that show that Coach Jarrett has in him? You know, having an affiliated player, and you have him on the penalty kill in the semifinals of what's only a 3-goal game, and he steps up and does an outstanding job and makes a great play. And I think what did we say, he had 3 assists in yesterday's game or something? Or
I think he only got credited for 3, but I'm pretty sure he had 4.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, but they were like 3 of them. I think all 3 were primary.
Yeah, he was the primary.
So like that just shows a lot. Like it's not just those like, hey, I'm 26, I was on the ice. Like, one of those type deals. He actually got the assist and set up those plays.
Yeah. So
he had a couple good chances to score too as well.
That's right. So credit to him, and again credit to Coach Jarrett for showing the confidence in him.
And to go back to yesterday's game, Blake Dufeld, the other AP, stepping up and things went a little south. And he apologized to the coach, and Cole goes, I got nothing but respect for you doing that.
Yeah.
And so good on him for.
And that's the type of kid Blake is,
yeah.
right? Blake would be the type of kid that apologizes.
But he did a good job,
yeah.
like you said. Just got a score update. Thunder Bay is up 1-0 on Sudbury, which, like we talked about, Thunder Bay, I know they started the tournament 0-2, but they had a tight game to start the series against the Hounds 3-2. And they lost 3-0 to Sudbury, so they're going to want redemption in that game. Actually, well, both games, if they play both teams today, they want redemption.
Wouldn't that be funny, right? The first game of this playoff. Go ahead. Sorry.
Don't got hit. Went down on one knee, got up and still got the puck before everyone else. Just shows how much the energy he has.
Oh yeah.
He just never stops. Like the Energizer Bunny, just what a turnover. He picks that up and took a little bit of a hit there, but doing a great job on the forecheck. Now he'll pick up the puck again. They fire it in deep. Timmins going to pick it up. Lamarche trying to spin away from Eby. Eby's bumping him, trying to stick with him. Knocks Lamarche over. Eby's going to steal. He's got a man out front. Nevers. He wants that one back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the backhand of
like I was saying,
play.
the first game of the tournament we saw, or I keep calling it the tournament. The first game of the playdowns that we saw was Thunder Bay versus the Hounds, and it was a 3-2 win for the Hounds, like we talked about. It was a great game, so be convenient, or wouldn't be a shock to see them play the last game of the playoffs too.
So face off to the left of Renault. 11:09 left. 6-2 Hounds lead. Into the feet of Nevers, tries to get it over to the slot to Eby, but it hits a Timmins stick. Now Horrible. That's offside. Yeah.
Scott and Nevers exchanging some slashes.
I'd like to thank the stream being brought to you by KC Security Services, courtesy of Sioux Sports TV. Repair Sault Ste. Marie. Thompson Hardwood Flooring Refinishing. Rome's your independent grocer. The Canal District. GFL Environmental. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds. Leanne Jarrett Photography. Booster Juice Sault Ste. Marie. Wendy's Sault Ste. Marie. Sioux Sports Clips. And Freeze Frame Photos by Bob Davies. A big thank you to all the sponsors that helped with this playdowns for the U15 AAA division in the North. Much appreciated. And I'm sure all the families tuning in and kids that can rewatch their games appreciate it.
Yeah, no question.
Now Nevers tries to get it over. Takes a nice hit from Power though. Yeah. Power gets him with the hip.
Power's a big, strong kid, right? 6 foot tall defenseman. And when he gets in, when he hits you, you feel it, that's for sure. That was a beautiful hit there.
Just from outside the Timmins area, South Porcupine, which is basically Timmins.
Yeah. Oh, you can't say that though.
No.
Yeah.
That is the hometown though.
That's right. Yeah.
Face off one back by Timmins. Fotheringham trying to find his Aston gets stuck in his feet. Now Fotheringham re-picks it up. Battle on the wall in front of the box. Timmins going to chip it up the ice.
Is that like saying Echo Bay's the Sioux?
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah.
Fotheringham picks it up in his own zone. Looking for an outlet. Tries to go through a couple of hounds. He will get it to Zubik. Zubik over to Aston. Aston just out of the reach of Zubik. Now in behind the net. It's going to be picked up by the hounds. Meninos chips it off the boards for Fisher Ruck. Soft chip. Fisher Ruck trying to find Lapalainen. They both cut through the middle. Stolen by Timmins. Coming back the other way, Preston Johnston. He's going to get the puck knocked off his stick by Lapalainen. Now they're going to get up the ice. Houston with them changing. He's got three. He's got two with them. Just plays it in behind. Now the Hounds are going to come back 3-on-2. Lapalainen with Meninos and Kennedy. Over to, Meninos goes for the one-timer. Fans on it. Try to find Kennedy in the slot. Timmins will steal. Meninos takes it back though. Now Meninos. Timmins will chip it back down to the slot. It's going to get thrown back in. They'll have to come back in on side. Caruso just out of his reach. So Preston Johnson will come up, turn back over. Kennedy looks to steal from Yannick Morrow. He does. He'll get it into the Timmins zone. Fan on by Morden, almost stolen by Caruso. Jasper Jarrett going for the head. Morden sidesteps it, goes off the stick of Barber. Barber, Campbell in a foot race. Campbell gets body position. Campbell will chip it around. Now Ben Campbell off the boards looking for Jasper Jarrett. Timmins will seal it off on the side. Jarrett knocks his man down, picked up by Bryson Doan off his stick though. Barber keeps it in. One-timer by Bailey Scott. Just wide of the net.
Huh.
And the puck comes back
Nice,
over.
nice stop by Carter Rome on the sidelines there. As
Rome
he's
gets
able to
his
grab
first
that.
save of the game on the bench.
So 8:16 to play here in the third. 6-2 in favor of the Greyhounds. So, like we said, we've seen some shenanigans, we'll call it, when games kind of get out of control in this tournament, and we've seen teams kind of get hurt by losing some guys. And in a game like this, both teams have played well. I think Timmins has done fairly well here today, considering. I mean, Clayton's played an outstanding game, and Timmins had an opportunity to kind of have put a few more goals on the board. So this was a great performance so far by them, and again, Renault just keeps it up. But you just want to see, you don't want to see any funny stuff right now, right?
No, they've had a little bit of pushing and shoving. The refs have let it go, not out of hand, but
no, it's been
they
great.
did let the small stuff go. It's been pretty good so far. That was Barrett McCabe coming in from the point, right just under the ringette line, getting the shot off, but Renault covering it, so we'll have a face-off to the left of Renault. Oh no, Renault came out. Story's going. Storing takes over the net with 7:50 left.
Interesting. Was that one that must have been planned? I think.
Planned, or maybe I don't know. I don't think he got hurt or anything, but
no. Weird timing, but.
Now break for Horrible. A good job by Barrett McCabe. Gets back and steals the puck. Horrible and Nevers kind of run into each other. McCabe will carry it up. Finds Eby off his stick into the offensive zone. Fotheringham will pick it up. Timmins going up the wall. McCabe hits Horrible. Now it's going to be Bailey Scott. One-on-one with Ubaldi. Shot on net and glove down by Clayton.
I like that shot by Scott there. Tried to use the defender as a screen, and Clayton had to be ready for that one. Clayton, congratulations to him. He was named goaltender of the year, I believe, for the league. So congratulations.
Face off in the feet, picked up by Jeremy Jarrett. Jarrett gets it over to his brother Jasper. He'll chip it in deep, no ice. McMonaco, he'll get there. Gets it to the front, loose puck. Timmins will pick it up in the slot. Duclos going wide on Parrott. Parrott staying with them. Same with Jarrett. Now it goes back to the point. Timmins. Preston Johnson shot towards the net, gets blocked. Puck comes through the crease, covered by Clayton.
So we got a rematch, or what, game 6, I think you said tonight, between Timmins and the Thunderbirds? Or?
Yeah, game 6, do or die for the Birds. They're down 3-2 in the series, so they did take one at home when they were here, and then had a heartbreaking game 4 double OT loss after outplaying them for the most part. That's the one they needed to win to go to back down. They would have been up 3-1 going back there, but they ended up with a bad loss down in Timmins. So hope for a big game tonight and maybe a game 7 back in Timmins. Nice long trip for a 1 game.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I tell ya.
Now Fisher Ruck in the offensive zone. He'll throw it towards the net. Tipped by Lapalina. Meninos, he'll pick up the loose puck. Ooh, he tried to tuck that in.
Yeah. What a stop by Storing, though.
Trying to fake going around and tip it in. Meninos with 2 goals tonight. He's going to pick up the loose puck. Walks the line. Shot towards that. Goes off Yannick Morrow's shin guard. Now to the far side.
Nice
Parrott
play.
gets the puck chipped around him by Barber. He gets over to Houston. He's got Preston Johnson. Low shot saved by Clayton. Puck comes to the slot. Morrow and Barber kind of bump into each other. Now back the other way, Lapalainen. He'll just dump it in. Hounds looking a full change in. Down at 5.5 minutes. Picked up by Backerson in his own zone. Backerson trying to skate it up. He gets his pocket picked by Zubik. But good stick by Backerson getting back and chipping it off. Sudbury Thunder Bay now tied 1-1. Play comes back to the other side. Picked up by Power. Goes off his stick. Campbell takes it. Now on the wall, Eby's going to try to chip it around Power. Power stays with him. He'll throw it back into the Greyhound zone. Backerson now over to Campbell. Campbell stretching it. Off Hayden Dolan. He'll tip it in deep. Nevers goes on the forecheck. He bumps Power in behind the net. Father and him gets his pocket picked by Eby. He tries to find Nevers. It's in the crease and covered by Storing.
Great play by Storing there. You know, tough gig by him coming in after sitting for 2.5 periods and you know, coming in to try and finish the game off cold. But he's done a great job so far. He looks like he's been in this whole game and you know, definitely ready to roll here. So made a few nice stops early on.
Face off. One back by Timmins in their own zone. Fatherham spins away from Nevers. Still with the puck. Nevers pestering him. Bumps him on the boards. Power chips it up the wall. Hounds steal for the moment. Bryson Hayden fires it towards the net. Nevers is going to get called.
Yeah, interference.
Yeah.
Puck wasn't around, so that's a good call. Timmins now with one more opportunity on the power play with 4:18 to play.
They're going to go with 6 skaters here on the power play, I think.
Yeah, may as well, right? Yeah, I like it.
Well, Sudbury taking a 2-1 lead over Thunder Bay now. One back. It's going to be Duclos. He'll give it over to Zubik. Zubik to Duclos. Duclos back to Zubik. Zubik to Scott. Bailey Scott fires it. Saved by Clayton. Rebound. Goes in behind the net. Baldy ties his man up down low. Blake Kennedy's going to come down. Try to chip it off the boards. Kept in by Timmins. So battling's going to be Aston. Try to get it out front. Comes out to the far side. McMonaco fires it.
Oh, what a play to keep that in.
Hits Horrible. He keeps it in. Horrible trying to find Scott. Scott. He's going to go back to Horrible. Horrible. Good stick by Kennedy. Knocks it wide. Now Duclos shoots it towards the net. Didn't miss by much. Comes to the far side. Scott. And Kennedy with a good block again. Now he'll fire it all the way down. Won't make it to the open net, but good job being aggressive on the points. Back the other way. Scott's going to carry it out. Scott gets around Caruso. Fires it over to the far side to Horrible. Horrible drops it for Duclos. Duclos to Zubik. Now good stick by Dante Caruso. That'll chip it to the neutral zone. Carried back in by Scott. Stolen this time by, I believe, Jasper Jarrett. And he'll chip it all the way down. Just stops right by the net. Down to 25 seconds left here on the penalty. Duclos can break back out, gets over to Scott. Caruso stops him. Now Jarrett, but the backhander towards the net just goes wide. Battle down low. Fired in deep. Eby's going to chase after it. He seals off Scott. Eby throws it to the slot. There is no goalie, so he's going to fire it towards the open net. Just put it wide. Now Nevers out of the box. Nevers off his stick. Eby picks it up. Shot towards the net. Hits a body. 2 minutes left in this game. Back to 5-on-5. Shot towards the net by Parrott. It gets blocked by Timmins player in the slot.
Great job by Timmins here.
Now Eby again. This time he throws it to the slot and Timmins will pick it up. Timmins trying to find Lafreniere. Now we're going to have no ice. So they're going to come back the other way. Nevers will chip it. Trying to find Eby. Just out of his reach. Nevers pushes his man down. Timmins on the far side. They'll get it out to the neutral zone. Now Barrett McCabe will step up. McCabe throws it in. Picked up by Power now in the Timmins zone. Power going wide with Eby. Eby pitches him off Kennedy. Fires it towards the empty net. Goes off a stick.
Morton with a nice play.
Yeah. Bryson Dolan from his knees tries to fire it out front. Eby tried to go far side. He's stolen. McCabe and Eby though, hard back check to catch up to Houston. Bryson Dolan trying to chip it out. It's going to be Eby. He'll chip it past Morden. We'll get a change. Down to a minute left. McMonaco comes out with Jasper Jarrett. Now McMonaco. He's going to try to go wide. Good stick by Timmins. Ubaldi, he'll try for the open net. Gets blocked.
Credit Timmins. They've gone 4.5 minutes without a goaltender, and they've held this, held the Greyhound. And the play's been in their end a little bit.
Yeah, as I said, they had some good possession there, but McMonaco now, they'll try to find Jasper Jarrett into their feet. In back, in behind the Hounds net. 30 seconds left. Picked up by McCabe. McCabe, hard pass, hits off Kennedy's stick into the Timmins zone. Down to 15 seconds left.
And as we wind down here again, we just want to thank all the listeners and people viewing from Timmins, and congratulations on a great season, and obviously hope for a safe drive home for everybody, and look forward to seeing you all next season. Absolutely.
So the Hounds will take this game 6-2. And they'll be off to the finals. 5-0 record now. So we'll see everybody at 5:30 at the NCC Arena. And we'll see who they meet, as I believe Sudbury is still up 2-1. So we'll see if it's Sudbury or if it's going to be Thunder Bay Kings. Thank you for tuning in. This is Derek Wilson, Tony Bonafero on Sioux Sports TV.